Howdy folks, welcome back to Boondockery. I'm getting an incredibly late start on a wild camp, but this wild camp is going to be focusing primarily on my continued testing of my wilderness innovation gear. So far this summer it's been incredibly mild, and this is really the first really warm day that we've had. Now, if you've ever used a poncho, when it's warm, you know how much you heat up in it. It is a completely waterproof encasement. It traps all that humidity. So tonight is going to be a wonderful opportunity for me to see how this does in extreme humidity and in high temperatures. I may not even need the Osnis top quilt and bottom quilt at all, but we'll see. It's supposed to drop down to a little below 60 tonight, and I'll have everything at the ready if I absolutely need them. Other than that, I'm just going to see how this poncho performs as a hammock in warm, humid weather. I am losing light quickly, and unfortunately I've been getting intermittent showers, and whenever it starts to rain I have to put the camera away, so it goes under there and I continue working. You know, I'm soaking wet already from sweat, so a little bit of rain's not going to hurt. Now, I don't have a light for my camera, so I'm going to do this as quickly as I possibly can, and hopefully I'll be able to get everything done before it gets dark. And you're thinking, well, John, if you're such a hurry, why don't you just shut your pile and get to it? I will do just that. Thank you for reminding me. You're so kind. You must like me. Or you just absolutely loathe my droning on and on and on and on. Well, when I was a kid growing up in Florida, my dad was a milkman. And in the summers, every once in a while, he would take me on his milk route with him, which was an absolute adventure because there was no seats. My dad had like this, it was like a stool type of thing that popped up whenever he got up from driving to go back into the back and get all of his dairy products to deliver. So I would sit on the stoop, or I'd stand up. I would stand up, holding onto the dash, looking at everything. And the doors were open. These were like bus door type things. They were really huge. It was awesome. Of course, today people would lose their ever-loving mind if a kid did that, but I did it and I loved it. The highlight of my day was when we finished up and we were getting ready to go back to the dairy to turn in all the paperwork and everything, is my dad would pull up to one of these roadside stands. They would sell fruits and vegetables, things like all kinds of like different types of things, tapestries, things like that. But there was always a great big 55-gallon drum on an open fire, just boiling away like a giant cylindrical cauldron. And what lay within? It was boiled peanuts. I absolutely loved boiled peanuts. And they'd strain them all out and they'd put them in a double-lined paper bag. There you go. And they were still hot. They were still hot. Sometimes they were so hot you couldn't eat them just yet. You had to wait for a little bit. And then when you're ready and you pick up that first great big moisture saturated peanut in the shell, and you opened it up and you consumed the delectable goodness. Well, the reason I bring this up is this afternoon I was at our local grocer, and I'm going down the aisle, and what do I see but this? Oh yeah. Now, I didn't have Cajun style boiled peanuts. They were just boiled peanuts. I always heard they used ocean water to boil them in. I don't know. But I saw this and I'm like, I gotta have that, and I got to eat it when I'm wild camping. So that's what I'm gonna do. And, oh wait, I'm going to use my Esbit cook set to do it with a Trangia burner. Just look at that. Look at the goodness. Look at it. Look at it. Oh yeah. We should get all the goodness, all the goodness. It'll start yuking here in just a minute. I see steam, but it's got to come to a boil. If it doesn't come to a boil, they're not boiled peanuts. I'm looking at my screen on the camera, and it's getting sort of dark from my vision, but as far as the camera goes, it still looks pretty light. Well, it has boiled. Oh, wow. Oh, this is going to be fantastic. I'll put this down. Oh, look at that. I got a triple. I got a triple. But I'm going to go for a single. If I can find one. That's close enough. Put this down. Look at this. Look at this. It's wonderful. This is very, very hot. See if we get that satisfying pop. Ow, it's burning me, it's burning me. There we go. Heard a little pop. Look at this. If you have never tried boiled peanuts before, you have no idea what you're missing. These are very hot. Those are good. Those are good. That so-called Cajun seasoning. Yow. That's the bomb. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm going to enjoy these tonight. And they're biodegradable. We'll see you in a few. It's so bright. I don't like it. Oh, well, that was good. I think. Ah, it's bright again. Okay. Now. Okay, apparently the light on the GoPro doesn't work either. I'm using my headlamp. I had a few questions about the compression sizes of these, and both of the Osnis items compress to about half their actual size in the bags. And these are granite gear compression bags, and I have no idea why in the world that they stopped using, producing these. They were absolutely fantastic, and there's just no one out there anymore making good quality multicam or OCP compression bags, which boggles my mind. The United States military uses OCP all the time now, and they use compression bags all the time now. I just don't get it. Well, I am going to rig the larger up underneath my hammock, but it's not going to be attached with the snaps. I'm going to hang it loose. I'm going to go ahead and get that done, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, what I've got going on here is I have the heavier weight Osnis attached with a drop cord. And it's the draw cord that comes here, but all I have to do is pull this and it will drop down and hold into position if it gets too warm. I've got it up beside my hammock as opposed to directly underneath of it. So just in case it does get too warm on one side, I can go ahead and just pull the draw cords and they'll drop down, but they'll still be attached. And if things get cooler in the evening, I can go ahead, draw it up, and snap it into position. I don't have to get out of my hammock to do that. And I'm going to have my lighter weight Osnis right down there at my feet. And if I need it, I can just pull it right up over me. But if I don't, it'll stay there. So everything's right where I can get it if, by any chance, I need it. And we'll just see how things go this evening. I'm really curious as to how this waterproof material and this higher humidity is going to react with the perspiration and the humidity. But we'll just see what tomorrow brings. Morning, folks. Oh, it is about 25 after 6. I've been awake for a good little while now, probably since a little before 5. Had some coffee, finishing that up. And as far as the survival poncho goes and the Osnis top quilt and bottom quilt, everything was great. Everything worked perfectly to plan. Started off last night. I had the heavier, I think it's a 5-ounce Osnis off to the side. It was not underneath of it whatsoever. And I had the 3.6 ounce Osnis cinched up at the bottom and just sort of like squished at the toe. I got in. It was hot and humid last night. Very humid. Very, very humid. And I had my t-shirt, my trousers on, and primarily because they're both treated with permethrin, or permethrin, however you pronounce it. I mispronounce everything if you haven't noticed, but that's okay. I'm good with that. I'm certain one of you will correct me, and I'll be learning up on stuff. That's good. But so my idea is like the bugs wouldn't bother me that bad. Well, I didn't treat my face with permethrin, and so I had bugs landing on me throughout the night, and so constantly doing this. But as far as the sweat factor with the condensation on the inside of the poncho deployed as a hammock wasn't an issue. It wasn't any different than it has been, and it feels just pretty much like a regular hammock as far as that goes. And like I said, it was incredibly humid last night. We had a lot of showers off and on throughout the night, but everything, matter of fact, I have a little charger pack, and I plugged that into my cell phone to charge, and my cell phone gave me a warning saying that moisture's detected, detached device. So I couldn't even charge my phone, it was so humid. But as far as sleeping and the poncho deployed as a hammock, not an issue. Started getting a little chilly in the wee hours of the morning. I just tucked down half of the Osnis with one hand, pulled it around the other, gave it a little snug, pulled the other one up about right here on me. It was great. It didn't get cold enough for me to pull it all the way up, but it was very, very comfortable sleeping with those last night, even with the higher temperatures. I have no idea what time, well, what temperature it is right now. I would say it's probably about 65 maybe. It's not bad at all to be out here with my t-shirt. But yeah, very pleased, very pleased. Everything worked great, and get a little more light going on, get a little more coffee in my gullet, and I'll pull back the tarp and let you see the configuration and how I had things worked out in closer detail, because I know the GoPro probably didn't do the best job for you. See you in a few. Before I get into showing you all that hammock poncho stuff, I want to get a little food in me. What I'm going to have this morning for breakfast is Swartz Foods freeze-dried sausage gravy and biscuits. Real biscuits. Oh, that is no good. It's okay. We won't waste too much. We won't waste too much. Yeah. Time to enjoy some good grub. As far as freeze-dried meals go, with Mountain House, my favorite meal of theirs, especially for breakfast, but I could eat it all the time, is biscuits and gravy. However, I believe that Mountain House has a long way to go to live up to this quality. This tastes like real sausage gravy. And I'm not going to say it's as good as my wife's biscuits and gravy, but it's a very close second. Seasonings, everything is absolutely fantastic. And the fact that you actually have a couple real biscuits to break up and put in there. Oh, wow. This is fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and enjoy this. I'll bring you back. We'll take a look at the Wilderness Innovations kit, the way I have it set up, and then we'll pretty much be wrapping it up. I'm certain all of you are very well acquainted with the basic hammock setup with top quilts, bottom quilts, things like that. So I'm not going to go into any of that. What I'm going to go into is how I did things last night. Last night I had the survival poncho rigged up as a hammock, and I rigged up my Osnis, the heavier weight one, the 5-ounce one, on the side of it, so it wasn't underneath my hammock yet. And the lighter weight one, 3.6 ounce, was all balled up with the bottom cinched, so it created the toe box, and just laid out and compressed up here. Put my feet on it when I laid down just in case I needed it. And that's the reason that I had this off to the side, is if I needed it, all I have to do is reach around underneath the hammock, pull it up, and there we have it. And that's what I did last night. Middle of the night, probably about 3 o'clock in the morning, got a little chilly, put that around me, felt pretty good, and a few minutes later I slid the top quilt over top of me. So that worked great. My concerns about high humidity, it wasn't an issue. It was not an issue. I believe that had I been sleeping in 80+ degree weather, yeah, I'm going to be sweating, and it's going to be wet. But at that point in the 80s, I'm not going to be getting chilled from it, and so I don't think that's going to be an issue. It definitely wasn't an issue last night. As far as humidity goes, the only way that the humidity could have been any higher is if I would have set this up inside a lake. It was it was so humid. I'd say 99% humidity last night, and we had intermittent showers throughout the night. So that worked out great. One of the things that I absolutely love about this whole setup is my tree straps that I made. And with those knots being every 6 inches, it really makes it highly adjustable. And I don't have to mess with tying new knots, untying things for things to fit. 6 inches is perfect. And since we have 2 lines going through here, if I want to put my hat around the ridge line and it starts flopping around, well, look, it starts walking and it will slide down. If whatever I put on this line, like a ridge line, you put it between those two, and it's only going to be able to slide back and forth 6 inches. I have my Streamlight Sidewinder flashlight another multi-use piece of equipment because I can use it as a flashlight going around. I can clip it to my webbing, I can clip it to my belt, I can set it up, I can use a piece of 550 cord to tie it around a tree to put it in place, and I can use it as a lantern. And that's worked out great last night. I really like using the toggles with these tree straps. They work really, really well. And the hoods are fantastic for storage. My poncho hood, I kept my long sleeve shirt, which is also permethrin treated. And just in case the bugs got too bad, I could pull this on and protect my arms and get one more layer of protection against the insects. And on the bottom one, I tucked my boots in there so they didn't get bugs in them by being on the ground. So that worked out great. Everything went very, very well as far as what I was wanting to test. The one thing that I would add to this kit would be a bug net. There were no insects on me whatsoever as far as where I had my clothes treated with permethrin. However, my face is not treated with permethrin. So bugs were landing on me throughout the night, near us like back and forth like this. Even if it's just a head net, I mean, that would be something, but I definitely am going to be adding a insect net to this. And super small, compact, super lightweight, and there's absolutely no reason not to add something like that to a minimalist kit. My entire camp, all my cooking stuff, 24 hours worth of food and snacks, my water, everything here fit inside my pack, which is a Molly 4000 pack. And I think the whole weight was right around 30 pounds. And I know it's not ultra light, but compared to what my camps have been, especially in winter, it's about half weight. And I like that. And as the temperatures increase, I think pretty much what I will do is leave the 5-ounce Osnis at home, use the 3.6-ounce Osnis as an underquilt, and if anything, I can have a linen sheet, you know, that's a subdued color to put on me to pull up. And just if I need a little bit of extra, and also we always have that potential, like we demonstrated with, I showed this video last time, is I can also just snap this together and basically make a cocoon up to the point of my chest. And so that portion of my body would be warm enough if the temperatures were to dip down. But I think for hot weather, it won't be necessary at all. Years ago, I went on a 7-day hammock camping trip, and I was using a DD hammock at the time, and it was ridiculously hot, mid to upper 90s throughout the day, and using a cotton sheet in the evenings, and when things got just a little bit chilly, because, you know, sweat evaporation, things like that's supposed to cool you down. Well, when the humidity is not real high, that happens. And just pulling that cotton sheet up over me was more than sufficient of insulation and comfort factor, and it was very, very nice. But everything worked out great. I'm very pleased with the way everything's handling, and I'm getting used to the versatility and the flexibility of this setup. I'll be perfectly honest with you, the poncho setup as a hammock is not as comfortable as my other hammocks. But then again, none of my other hammocks can be a poncho. So there's a give and take there. But as far as a multi-use piece of equipment, this is absolutely fantastic. It's more than comfortable enough. And I just wanted to throw that out there. I know a couple folks had asked me that specific question: is it as comfortable as a regular hammock? And of course it's not. However, it's more than comfortable enough to be able to get a decent night's sleep. I deeply appreciate you coming camping with me, and had a pretty good time. Ate some decent food, tried a few experiments with my kit, and everything turned out fantastic. Well, folks, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Now, I'm losing light quick, and I do not have a light for my camera. And so I'll try to get this done as quick as I can. And but if it gets too dark to see the process, forgive me in advance, but I'll do what I can to show it along the way. Now, why do I say now? Where you? Now, I'm certain everyone here has